The three creative dilemmas. Action is not a force outside that acts upon matter. Action is, instead, the inside vitality of the inner universe. It is the dilemma between inner vitality's desire and impetus to completely materialize itself, and its inability to completely do so. Action is therefore a part of all structure. Here is an exquisite imbalance whose result is consciousness and existence. For consciousness and existence do not exist because of delicate balances, so much as they are made possible by lacks of balances, so richly creative there would be no reality as it is understood to be if balance were ever maintained. The first dilemma is that which exists when inner vitality struggles to completely materialize. Though it cannot completely materialize, this first dilemma results in action, and from action's own working upon itself, identity was formed, and that these two are inseparable. It is a mistaken notion that identity is dependent upon stability. Identity, because of its characteristics, will continually seek stability, while stability is impossible. And this is our second dilemma. It is this dilemma, precisely between identity's constant attempts to maintain stability and action's inherent drive for change, that results in the imbalance, the exquisite creative byproduct that is consciousness of self. We have a series of creative strains. Identity must seek stability, while action must seek change, yet identity could not exist without change, without action. For it is the result of action, and not apart from it, but a part of it. Consciousness, therefore, is not a thing in itself. It is a dimension of action. It is an almost miraculous state, made possible by what I choose to call a series of creative dilemmas. Consciousness of self is not the same thing as consciousness of ego self. Consciousness of self is still consciousness directly connected with action. Ego consciousness is the result of our third dilemma. The ego is a state resulting from the third creative dilemma, which happens when consciousness of self attempts to separate itself from action. Since this is obviously impossible, since no consciousness or identity can exist without action, because they are inseparable, we have our third dilemma. These three dilemmas represent three areas of reality within which inner reality, or inner vitality, can experience itself. And here we have also the reason, or one of the reasons why, inner vitality can never achieve complete materialization. The very action involved in vitality's attempt to materialize itself adds to the inner dimension of inner vitality. Inner vitality attempts therefore to materialize itself completely, and yet because of its very nature, with each materialization it increases itself, making the attempt impossible. This is the basic dilemma from which all types of reality spring.